Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Huts and welcome to Oxygen Not Included. This game is a 2D side-scrolling sort of base building game where our goal is to not suffocate. So you might be asking yourself, hey, is that Don't Starve? Nope, this is actually Don't Suffocate, or Oxygen Not Included. Same people that did the art style for Don't Starve did the exact same art style for this game. And it is a hell of a lot of fun. So here we are, this is how we started off, and we go by cycles here, so every single day they have a sleep cycle, which is the tiny little thing. That's a lot like Don't Starve, where there's a daytime and a nighttime, and it's denoted by this little like pie chart, this spinning pie chart up here, so to say. There's jobs that people can be put into. Mind you, this is the thermal upgrades, so there's actually like, you really have to keep track of heat. So like over here you can see it's red, there's a hot something over here, and there's a cold something down here. There's like temperature zones. And our duplicates, they're called, or dupes for short, can actually be affected by all that. But they also have to go to the bathroom. They have to be able to eat. Drinking water isn't really a thing. They must get it through the food that they get, because I mean, water does go into their food, but they make their food out of dirt, so that's something else. Let's see here, oxygen, there's helium, there's a bunch of different gases that we have to take care of. And the main goal here is to basically, like I said, just make enough oxygen to survive. As you can see, this blue stuff that looks like a blue galaxy of some sort, that's the gas. That's denoting the oxygen gas. And right now, at any given point down here, there's about, 1,500 grams per little cube that I got it out over, which is pretty good. So let's see here. Let's start off by digging up this little, digging out a little home. There's a lot of space down here. I'm surprised that there's a lot of space right underneath us. One of the biggest things that we want to go for right away, first of all, it says colony requires toilets, very important. But also this algae, this stuff right here, the green stuff. The algae is going to be extremely important for us to make oxygen with. That's going to be like our main ingredient. Algae in water, we put into this thing called the algae deoxidizer, sorry. We can also make oxygen with a terrarium, so that's something that we'll have to think about doing. I'm gonna go ahead and just bridge right back down, or right down to this for the first time rather, down to this area down here, and we'll put in a porta potty. Now you wanna be careful and not mine this thing called oxalite right off the bat, because it emits oxygen until it finally just gets used up. And I don't know if there's any like better purpose than to just leave it there and let it disappear over time. You know, what if I could like harvest it? I wish I could like make more, because that's essentially, I guess, where things usually go wrong for me, is that I run out of oxygen. Because after a while you run out of algae. There's only a few spots of algae. This is not very good of a start map, so this might be a rough start. As you can see, there's a little bit of algae around this area, around this whole cavern. There's some algae around this cavern. A lot of water, which is nice, but it's really close to this ice zone, so I'm hoping it doesn't freeze on me, because I'm not like really sure what I'm supposed to do about that. Yeah, so there's algae over here, and looks like there's contaminated, polluted water over here, polluted oxygen. That's not gonna be so good, but we have ability to like filter that later. A little bit of algae up here, not very much, not very much. I've seen some maps that have way more, and here's some coal and copper around this vacuum over here. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we want to keep our eye here on this algae. So I've played quite a bit of this already, but not so much of the thermal upgrade. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. We're just going to kind of make it up as we go. I don't expect that our first try here is going to be a success, but let's go ahead and mine out some of this algae, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a toilet over here somewhere. So that'll be good. Toilets pretty dangerous, because the toilets that you start off with, they're like the porta potties. What are they called? Let me look it up. Plumbing outhouses require no piping, but they create polluted dirt from the poo, and then that poo actually creates polluted oxygen, and you don't want them to breathe polluted oxygen, obviously, of course. So let's try to avoid that. But you know what? I'm gonna, in this little cubby back here, that's where I'm gonna make my toilet. Hopefully it'll contain some of the evil gases that will escape. We can, however, make sure that we empty the polluted dirt into a storage container, which we can build right here, storage compactor. I'd like to make a big, long, like, hallway of storage compactors. Let me see. Let's dig down a little bit further here, I think would be a nice thing to do. Copper ore, okay, that's nice. Make another ladder down, and then I want to make a tile across right here. And like I said, right beneath this main zone here, I want to build some storage compactors because they're really ugly. You do have to worry about their stress levels. Now, when you end up failing, I say that, you know, I usually run out of oxygen. Well, what happens is it's either that or their stress levels get too high. And they get stressed when they're holding their breath. They get stressed when they're dirty. They get stressed when they can't eat, you know, just things like that. There's also like stress when they're hurt, or I think if it's too hot, too cold does stress. But one of the most, one of the biggest ways that I found that my duplicants get stressed out is actually the lack of decor. So if I go ahead and click this decor overlay, up here there's oxygen, power, temperature, thermal, comfort. Let's see, thermal comfort is actually a good one because it's different than temperature because you don't really, you know, it's green. Is it comfortable? Is it blue? Is blue comfortable? I don't know. I could just check this and say, is it red or is it not? That's actually extremely helpful. Okay, storage compactors, let's just say all for now. Let's just be able to put everything in there. And eventually they'll start sweeping up the ground. Otherwise, I just leave it around. I was saying, what was I saying up here? Priority overlay, there's tons of stuff. Everything starts at 5, you can put it up to 6 to 9. There's also 4 to 1, depending on like, you know, I really want them to get to this area first. Say if I really want them to dig this dirt over here faster than they dig that one out, I can just go ahead and go to my priority thing down here on the bottom and say, I'll give it an 8. Give it an 8 and they'll go to that first actually before any of this other stuff because it's all set to 5. So yeah, we're getting there. Oh, that's right, I was talking about decor. Light provides good decor, but I can also have them make things like a canvas and a sculpting block, but only after I research the ability to make those things. So we'll have to think about research. Off the bat, you really can't build a whole lot of things until you start researching everything. And I can't even show you guys the research tab until I get one of these stations, a research station, but I need some raw metal. I need a lot more copper to do that. So there's a little bit of copper ore right there, but that's not enough. Should we mine this area out of the copper? Well, I don't want to break into this vacuum because that's going to take some of this gas and suck it up there and it's going to spread it out even more. And over time, you'll notice that the gas keeps going away because obviously we keep breathing in the gas. And if you guys already know like most of this stuff, just bear with me. I'm going to be through it in no time. They breathe out carbon dioxide, obviously. Okay, so oxygen in, carbon dioxide out, and we have to track down this carbon dioxide. It's heavier than air, so it's going to float to the bottom. So it's going to kind of just gather up right over here. I don't know why the oxygen is so low in this area. That's weird. Oh, it's probably like because my oxalite is over here, and it's all pumping out the gas, and it's slowly moving over here. Eventually, all of this carbon dioxide is going to kind of work its way down into this area, and we'll have to figure out some way to deal with that. There are algae terrariums, which are pretty good for that. There's also air scrubbers, which use water in order to do this. And there's different ways in which that we can make it self-sustaining, and that's really what we need to go for. We need to conserve water. We need to conserve oxygen. A lot of people, I think that this game comes in stages. Stage 1 is just people that don't really know what they're doing, end up kind of filling their entire cavern with oxygen, and duplicants get stressed, and they, you know, don't have enough food, don't have enough algae, yada yada yada. They make like 50 different algae terrariums. That's like your level 1. Level 2 is like you can survive decently long. You know how to basically move some things around, make some things kind of self-sufficient, like your toilet systems. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And then there's like your level 3, which for some reason or another, they just, level 3 people just know how to make infinite amounts of algae. I don't know if they did that from the slime, but I've tried to make slime compactors, this stuff over here. You can convert the slime into algae with a certain machine. And I think there's something, thimble reed, that's the first time I've ever seen one of those. You can go ahead and take these monsters that actually breathe up polluted oxygen and they poop out slime. And the slime on the ground actually emits this polluted oxygen once again, so it's just kind of self-sustaining with those monsters. And then you make some slime farms underneath that. I've seen that work out pretty well, but holy crap, like to be able to like entrap different monsters in the game, those are your level 3 people, and I'm not to that stage yet, but I would like to become. So if you're gonna sit here and say like, oh, you stupid idiot, you did do this right, you did do that right, like I know I'm not totally perfect at this game. I would love to learn more, so if you have some good tips, go ahead and leave them down below. I'm not exactly like looking for people to backseat the game, but if there's lots of things that I just don't know, good tips that could help me out, oh, go ahead. Absolutely. Leave it down below. I might see it, I might not. That's always the risk, though, isn't it? Okay, so there's these little cracked spots. That just means that there's something. It says buried object. Usually I found it's like a muck root. It's like a potato-looking thing that dupes can eat. And they're not very smart. That's one of the drawbacks of this game, is that they are not smart at all with what they're doing. I think it's just kind of like first come, first serve with whatever their, you know, optimization algorithm is, that like she just dug that thing right underneath her and then fell down. Sometimes, like if they're standing here, like if I said mine this copper ore, they'll stand there and then fall down. Now they're trapped and now they can't get out of there, and it's like you have to build a ladder back up, and it's just a pain in the ass that like they couldn't figure that one out, that was gonna fall on them. But whatever, oh well, we'll deal with it. What's the next thing that we need to do? We have a toilet. And the toilet's doing strong. It's surrounded by oxalites, so hopefully that keeps the air pressure up. You do have to worry about like thermodynamics and air pressure, and like, so like let's say that we have, you know, a certain amount of carbon dioxide that's floating down here, and if we take all this air away, if we just suck it out like a vacuum, all the carbon dioxide, boom, it's not gonna spread out across the entire base. So if we keep air pressure high, it's gonna push down all the heavier gases, or even the lighter gases. It's gonna push them up so that we have more of a region of oxygen. We wanna keep it, you know, pretty tight in here. So that's gonna be a tough goal to maintain, but one that we absolutely need to. All right, we had this water pool. I say that we just head to this one first. I never, ever like to just make a ladder from my base all the way down into the water, like right here, just like kapow. The reason being is that sometimes when they get stressed, let me see if I have any stress pukers. What are you? If I go stats, vomiter. Yes, so whatever name is a vomiter. And when she gets to 75% stress, she will vomit, and if she vomits into the water, it will contaminate the entire thing, and you don't really want that. And I don't really know like what the big deal is with contaminated water, because it seems like they can just go ahead and pump it into their research stations and use it to flush their toilet. Like, it doesn't seem like that much goes bad with it, but I think it does actually give off contaminated oxygen, which might be the one bad thing about it, so I'm not totally sure about this. All right, so, yeah, we're doing okay so far. We do have the ability to get more dupes later on, and we will do that assuming that we get some good dupes to get, because it's not really worth it to get some dupes that have really bad stats. Like I was just showing you, I picked these 3 in the beginning. We'll get the choice between 3 dupes in the future, and if I don't like any of them, I can go ahead and reject it and just wait a lot longer in order to get another 3 dupes to choose from. So everybody has their good parts and their bad parts. Let me see if I can go into, let's go to Basser this time. What does Basser have? His stats, these are his stats. There's construction, digging, tinkering, athletics, learning, cooking, medicine, creativity, strength, decor, radius. These are things that affect how good they are at each and every job. Now, I want whatever name, she's really good at art, so I don't want anybody else doing art except for her. I don't want Slapper mucking up. Now, even though Slapper is good at art, sorry Slap, even though you're good at art, I don't want you mucking up whatever's painting, because if it makes a bad painting, it can actually hurt the decor, I think. And if whatever name does the painting, it'll actually help the decor out a lot and help everyone's stress, yada yada. Here's one of those muck roots I was talking about. That's basically a potato. I'm gonna get sidetracked like nobody's business in here, because it's something else to keep up a conversation and get a recording done. Anybody who's done YouTube work knows what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Try not to have to edit it too much, because I just kind of like some raw raw footage sometimes. It's easier on me too, especially with these 1080p videos. I made a 1080p because look at all like the tiny numbers and shit that you guys got to look at. I always have the option between 720 and 1080p. I usually pick 720 because it's, you know, a lot of people are just watching on devices that you probably can't tell that much, or maybe their internet's not that good. But I feel like that's quickly changing. A lot of people are getting like fiber and stuff now. That's crazy. Crazy awesome. Like, I really wish I had fiber. Okay, so this sand, I think it's sand. Whenever you dig underneath sand, it falls back down onto you. Oh my god, it's like Minecraft. This game's like Minecraft. What I'm doing right now is I'm gonna build this, I'm gonna dig up here and I'm gonna make some beds up in this area. I like to put the beds up high because if you put the beds down low, the carbon dioxide is gonna eventually get to them and suffocate them during their sleep. And that's, you know, generally not a good thing to suffocate when you're sleeping. Okay, so I didn't make the beds before they actually had to fall asleep, so they're just gonna sleep wherever. They're doing fine. Let's look at their vitals. 7% stress? Oh my God. Everything is going to hell. Like, literally the only thing that's stressing them out right now is the decor expectation. Huh, okay. Sleeping actually does minus 20. Minus is good. So right now, change per cycle, they're at minus 10% per cycle. The cycle is the entire day's worth, so minus 10 is really not that big of a deal, but a plus 10 over the day. Yeah, so they were getting up to close to 10% there at the end of that cycle just because of drab decor. If I look at the decor overlay, right here, it's minus 23 because of all these stupid, I told you they're ugly. They're really ugly. This is actually really pretty, the printing pod. You wouldn't think so. This is the thing that prints new dupes. It's pretty because it gives off light, and anything that gives off light, you can see here's the, you know, light, no light. I don't know why it's a sharp cutoff, but it is. Lit area, so lit fam. Cringe. It's, yeah, light's good. Light's good for decor. So these guys are actually living it up here, up in the light. And I wish whatever name kind of would have slept up here instead. But we'll get the beds down. Maybe even putting the beds by the printing pod right off the bat would have been a good move. I've never done that before. I never even thought about doing that just because of the light. That probably would be the smartest move. Huh. I mean, off the bat, but later on we'll be able to make some paintings and stuff. And whatever name, she's super creative, so I'm gonna let her go ham on those paintings. And by the way, I couldn't pick the sex. You can't pick the sex. You just say randomize, and it gives you a guy or a girl and random stats and random positives and negatives. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I don't know if whatever name is actually a girl in real life. So, not trying to trigger anyone. All right, what do we got going on? We're not doing much. You might think this is a very slow start because it is, because I'm talking way too much. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. What do we want to do? We wanted to build the cots. So let's go ahead and build some beds. And I kind of want to make some space in between the beds. I do. I want to have some space in between the beds so that I have room to go back in and put some decorations in there. And make sure I do not build over the oxalite. We don't want to mess that up already. If I hit tab, I can go ahead and speed the game up a little bit. And if I hit spacebar, it pauses the game. Much like FTL does. You know, you hit the spacebar button, pause the game, just kind of like take inventory of what's going wrong. Because after a while, when you start getting 6, 7 dupes and your base is like out to here, a lot can go wrong. A lot of stuff. So I'm not sure if I totally went over everything. Let's see here. We have our different things down below behind me. I'll just tell you, there's dig, harvest, prioritize, sweep, mop, deconstruct, and cancel. Those are like the different tasks I can give them. And then here is like all the base building stuff. Base is tile, doors, ladders, storage compactors. There's oxygen. We can make an algae deoxidizer right now if we want to. That's the thing that converts algae into oxygen. The reason that we need all the algae that we can get is this machine right here and the algae terrarium, but I can't get to that until I've researched it. Power here, let's see here. There's wiring, there's a manual generator that we'll have to make like real soon. And batteries, switches. There's heavy watt wire. That's completely new. I've never seen that before in my life. I don't know how much energy we can put into a normal wire before it gets overloaded. I'm assuming it's heat-based. I know it's like, you know, how many watts is going through it, of course, but is it going to explode from overheating? Can I put more watts into it if if it was in a cooler area? Probably. Things I just trying to think of. Oh, by the way, the rubble here on the ground actually does hurt the decor, so we don't exactly want the rubble to stick around. Let me go ahead and just like dig out this ladder area. I like to do that. And then I'm going to build this out to that dug up something. And just because, you know, more food, more muck root is pretty good. Is it telling me missing foundation? Okay, so they're digging underneath it. They're putting the tile. You can actually have floating buildings. It's not that big of a deal. It's just you can't use the building until you put something underneath it. So it's actually pretty forgiving in that regard. Furniture. Cot. I want one more cot over here on this side. Okay, cool. Now they'll have a place to sleep. They'll feel a little bit better about it. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Dig this area out just a little bit. Give them some space. Because the tighter the space, the greater chance that they're gonna have that, you know, the oxygen's just not gonna get up there, and then oxygen's not gonna flow. And speaking of the oxygen flowing, let's clear out, we don't wanna have too many, like the only spot for the oxygen to flow up was up through this ladder. Nah, we wanna widen that a little bit. And they can go ahead and jump over one space off the ladder, it's no big deal. So, we're looking good. Invalid construction location, nope, we're good. Colony requires a food source, yes it does. Yes it does. Let's go ahead and maybe build this out on this side. We can put some stations down below here. One new thing with this thermal upgrade is that I put 3 batteries next to each other, and after a day, it was scalding in there. And any dupe that went in there, it like immediately got burnt. And they had light wounds, and light wounds makes their athletics go down by 3 points, which is, oh my. Did I not tell you that they're really stupid? These two just got their heads stuck. Their heads are stuck inside of this tile, and now they're suffocating. Now they are suffocating. If Basser had gotten in there too, all 3 of my duplicants would have just suffocated to death. They're so dumb. All I did was say like, hey man, simply just put some tile down. Oh, that is embarrassing for those guys. Okay, how do I get them out of this situation? I guess I could just dig them out this way, or they could dig themselves out. Prioritize that immediately. Basser, I need your help. Apparently I can't prioritize the deconstruct. Deconstruct 9. Does that do it? Let's cancel it first, and then do deconstruct, click 9, then go. Basser, I need your help, dog. I need your help. By the way, dynamite hair. Dynamite hair, Basser. I actually really like it. Okay, they were able to climb out. That's just terrible. I'm sorry, but that's awful. Oh, God. Welcome to Oxygen Not Included. Where the dupes are fucking... They're dupes, man. Alright, dog, dig that out, would you? You're getting sloppy. Whatever. You're getting sloppy. You've just entombed this bed so it can't be used. There we go. That's better. Alright. When this is all dug out, I think I'm gonna make an area for the generator, and I'm gonna make an area for the food to be made. We start off with 19k cal of field rations, which is actually really good. Skill increase. Basser athletics raised to 2. Oh, he's getting faster. He's getting faster. It's good. It's good. Now he can rush to save more people that are suffocating. Sick. Okay, cool. Let's keep digging it out on this side as well, I think. We don't want to go too crazy with like our cavern because, you know, the bigger space that you have, the more you have to fill it with oxygen, of course. The more oxygen you have to fill it. Which is kind of what makes me nervous about this area over here. There's not that much gas going around. We're going to be using it up quick. All right, so it looks like when you dig it out, there's just like essentially a vacuum behind every single dirt piece that's got to be filled in. The red is the carbon dioxide. Light blue means there's a lot of oxygen. Dark blue means there's a little bit of oxygen. We have a mealwood plant down here, a couple mealwood plants, and a bristle briar, and a buried muckroot. We could dig those up for the seeds and actually grow our own mealwood, which would be fantastic. Make a little mealwood farm. And we can turn that into food instead of having to rely off dirt and water, which is, doesn't sound so healthy, does it? All right, we should probably make a path down to the water so that we can start grabbing it for research and stuff. Do I want to make it straight across? I generally like to make it so that it's hard to get to the water a little bit, just like a mild inconvenience to get up to the water, right? Get up to the water is the point, is the main thing there. I don't want them to just be able to walk right over the water because, like I said, we have some stress vomiters, and those stress vomiters, they are not going to be very good when they get stressed out and they start puking all the way down, and then it runs all the way into the water and contaminates the whole damn thing. So that's why I had this little downward and then an upwards little scoop, so that if anyone does puke or pee, if they pee, that does the same thing. If maybe someone's in the outhouse or maybe the outhouse is full, it takes like half a day to plunge the stupid outhouse out. Bugs the crap out of me. All right, the next person who gets their head stuck in the wall is gonna get slapped by Slapper. Unless it is Slapper, in which case you'll have to slap yourself, which is gonna be really embarrassing. All right. They create quite a bit of carbon dioxide at night. It's just more noticeable, I think, because they're not moving. But yeah, so you can see the carbon dioxide slowly but surely ends up going downwards. This is gonna be kind of a tough area on this side because the carbon dioxide could kind of get like stuck along this wall here and not go anywhere. And, you know, there's gonna be things like gas permeable tiles that we can make in the future so they can walk on it and the gas can flow through. That's gonna be pretty invaluable, honestly. We have our first little enemy here, a hatch. Not good. Those things eat anything and everything that they come in contact with. Any drop on the floor, they will go ahead and eat that up. And on top of that, we have to fight them. We have to fight them. Toasty environment. Do they give off heat? I have no idea. How are my dupes doing? I think my dupes are doing okay. They're eating the muck root, which is good. Save the field rations if at all possible. Because I don't think that the field rations have to be refrigerated. I'm not totally sure about that. That's a new thing that they added in the thermal upgrade, is that the food actually does, I think it spoils at some point, because it says unrefrigerated on it. And it gives me a little warning saying like, hey, dipshit, your food is not refrigerated. So this is a nice little quaint start. We haven't really done much, but we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive so deep. I know this is slow, but stick with me, we'll get there, and I'm gonna be like cranking this out on super fast speed at some point when we're just waiting on, I play most of the time on super fast speed, so it's gonna go fast, I think. What do we need for, no, we can make the manual generator right now, actually. Let's actually make that towards the middle. I think there's gonna be more temperature flow around this area, which is good. We don't want the heat to build up in any one spot. Our oxalite is becoming consumed. It's about 25 kilograms left in there. It's going away real fast, but it's right now we're not making any oxygen, so all of this light blue is all thanks to the oxalite right now. That's gonna be gone probably by the end of this episode. All right, so we're making the generator. We should also make a tiny battery, but we need more raw metal. So you know what? We're gonna have to dig over a little bit to get to this this copper. I don't think we need much of it right now. So that'll probably do. Get that little spot too for that, whatever that buried object is. All right. We're doing it. A lot of digging out in the first episode. I get that. These guys are suffocating because there's no oxygen down here. As you can see, it's carbon dioxide right now. So they have to come back up. There's little bars underneath them, and that's their oxygen. How much oxygen they have left. And when it gets down to like 75%, they have to go up for more air. That's their point at which they're like, okay, now I'm suffocating. But we did just get into this oxygen-rich area here, so that's good. Maybe that'll flow down. Our carbon dioxide right now is pooling up over here, but now it's going to be going right down the ladder. It's going to pool up down here, so I'm wondering if this is actually going to be a better spot for me to put down an algae terrarium as soon as I research that. Probably. Okay, so we got the copper ore. Can make some tiny batteries. The batteries produce so much heat, it's unreal. So you know what? I'm going to try to spread them out to some extent. I'm gonna try to spread them out. They're pretty ugly too, so I don't want them too close to the base, that is. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Connect them with wires, of course, otherwise how would the power get there? Do I want to change up this area at all? I just feel like it's so ugly right now. I don't know. I like symmetry too. I really, really, really like symmetry. I think I'm just gonna say fuck it for now. But when they do that underneath the ground, if it's not a tile, they just dig it up and they just leave it undug. So we're gonna have to tile it up to that point. Not a big deal. Oh, Duplicant is ready. Okay, let's just see what we got. If there's nothing good, I'm not gonna take him. I'm not gonna take him. Say like, let's see here, bottomless stomach, eats tons of food. I just say that's probably not worth it. Creative, this person's really, really creative. Don't really care about that. They're narcoleptic, which means they fall asleep at any time, any place. I don't like that either. I've never done a narcoleptic person. I don't feel like that's gonna be good for me because if they sleep, right, and then they wake up and then they have to go to bed when it's nighttime, well, how much of the day are they gonna miss? Or is it gonna be disrupted sleep if they, you know, got too much during the day? I don't know. Gastrophobia, can't perform cook. That's not a big deal. Early bird, let's see here, adds +2 to all skills in the morning and then removes them at night. That's not that big of a deal. Cooking, athletics, and construction. Bert's good enough. Bert's good enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and name Bert the next one on the list. The next one on the list has nothing to do with anything else, but it's got the man bun. I think that the women are like denoted by the little eyelashes, I think, but I'm not totally sure. Bert could be a female. Bert could be a female. We don't know. Let's print Bert / Lumi. Let's make another cot. And yeah, not a massage table. Although Lumi, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Freaking massage table. Spoiled. Spoiled Lumi. All right, let's do this. Who do we want to make let's see here, the power? Lumi actually is very good at making the power. So let's put Lumi as our power man. Lumi's the power dude. He's gonna make it. I feel like segregating them at the start to say that like, you're really good at this task, so you be the only one that does it is a good idea, because then that one person's gonna, cause they level up, right? They level up, skill increases. The more Lumi runs on this manual generator, Lumi is going to gain athletics by doing that. And that's good, you know, because then they're going to be more efficient later on. And that's what we want, you know? We want efficiency here. That means that Lumi is probably not going to be doing the other jobs, but that's okay because, you know, we don't need him to do art. Let's see here. She's really good at sweeping and delivering. I think that's just because of his athletics are so high. Slapper's athletics are pretty good too, but let's maybe get him, what should he be doing? Maybe just most of the digging and stuff like that. I don't know. We don't have too many specific tasks to do right now. Who's going to be the best at research? See, like nobody's going to be really that good at research. So let's say that whatever is also going to do research. Because I think Slapper and Basser are both, what's it called? They're yokels. Slapper and Basser are both yokels that just cannot do research. That was one of their downfalls. So let's put whatever on research and art. And put Lumi on making power. Sounds good to me. And we're also going to go ahead and need to make a station. We need more metal, though. Let's get on this up here. What are they doing right now? I think they're just going ahead and building the batteries, but we kind of need to go ahead and prioritize the copper so that we can make a research station. Colony requires a food source, not stores. If I'm doing this unedited, you guys, oh my gosh. I used to struggle like really badly from a stutter. So if I say things weirdly or I stumble on my words, that's totally expected. That's just me, man. That's just me. I was gonna go ahead and close this up, but you know what? I kind of like this open area for the oxygen to flow, especially since there's still a tiny little bit of oxalite left. It's been about 30 minutes, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. We're gonna get deeper into it, I swear. It's gonna just pick up and it's gonna go like that. Like, we only went through 3 cycles. I think in the next episode, we're probably gonna get to like 20 cycles. Maybe. Hopefully. At least 20 cycles. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See you guys.